Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick review on these Masterclub Resin Workable tracks that I picked up a while back. Been meaning to do this review for a while, but just haven't had the time to make videos, so I haven't done it, but here it'll be. I'm not a fan of these, and I at least want to show people why I'm not. You get a bag of tracks and 2 bags of pins. One is larger than the other. So one of my main issues with them is simply that they are quite flashy and warped, so the resin cleanup wouldn't be as big of a problem, but in general each one has enough warp or warble or deformation. You know, this I could clean up, but it looks like it's a little bit too small on that side, a little too big down here. Like, I know that you can clean that up to be pretty close to straight, but it's not going to be perfect. But in general, it's a pretty disappointing result compared to what I've gotten from anything from any other company. The guide horns do seem to be correct and hollow, but this part of what's called the shoe is pretty different and not good on each link that I looked at. So I'll just grab another one. So again, if you look at it, let me try to set it as straight as I can. You know, you can see how it swings out this way, and I may be able to make it straight, but by the time I make it straight, have I lost enough material that it's even accurate anymore? Here's another one. I've got a large chunk of kind of resin flash there. That's no big deal, but again, it's this part over here. It's not the extra bits like this that bother me. It's actually this part which seems miscast. And it was like that on just about every one. There's occasionally a decent one. This guy seems a little bit better, but if you look, he's got a very distinct, almost like a smiley face warp in him. So I was not, yeah, there you can see it pretty badly. Like, this part is straight and then it kind of cuts down like this. So when they get fit together, they weren't really sitting right. You could see warbles in multiple directions. Like, you can see how that bends there. But still, I was willing to try to, like everybody says, put them in hot water, so I was going to see if they pop back to shape, although some did seem like they were kind of missing material. I was going to try to give them a shot anyway, and try to put them together with their pins. So the 2 different types of pins are like this. This is the small one, and that's the larger one. They're very, very small. I'm a tiny guy, and that's how big it is by my finger. So they're pretty tiny, so if one pings off, it's gone. So I'll try to do just the larger pin in the guide horn side. I could get it in enough, like part of the way into this, but that's about it, and then the resin pin would just give up the will to fight. Like, I get it, I can't even get it in that far right now. And this is pretty much my experience. I would try to jam these resin pins into these holes, and then that would happen. So if you saw that, that's what happened to the pin. So I suppose someone probably knows better than I do as to how to get it to work. So when I tried to put the resin pins in, after cleaning a few of them up, so you can see here's some monstrous flash there, or whatever they call it when it's resin, I drilled it out larger, and then either the pin would still break or not stay, or both usually, and then I can never even get this side open kind of correctly, because that looks fine, but this one down here was incredibly hard to even sort of find the point, and I didn't have a drill bit small enough to get in there. So that doesn't mean that they're not usable. Someone could probably figure it out, but my impression, because I actually tested them a bit, was they weren't even straight enough on average to rely on them as spares on the tank. So if you compare, here we have Friul, and I don't have any off of runs, but here we have Kaizens, and up here we have the Masterclub resin, and you can see that there's that warble. So I don't even see being able to use them as spares because they aren't straight or kind of crisp enough even. They're all right. You know, they do have guide horns with hollow lightning holes on them, but they're just, I can't get them together, and they don't look good enough for me to use for anything. So I cannot imagine I'll be buying any more of Masterclub stuff. In general, if you're looking for aftermarket Tiger tracks, do not get these. I would recommend over anything Freewheel if you can afford it. I think these are like 30, 35 plus usually 10 shipping. So you're looking at around 40 unless you get them normally the easiest way, bundled with a kit already that someone's trying to sell off. These you can get for about the cheapest, which is 20, sometimes with shipping, but they are a little, I don't know, less fluid in articulation, and they can break under oil washes and stuff, but that's about 20. In previous videos I've mentioned Kaizen, who I like very much, metal pins and plastic tracks. I about 20-25 shipped from eBay. And of course the original kind of standard plastic workable model Kasten or Ryfield's version. I think these are running like 40 and Ryfield's would run you about 25 shipped. So I think it doesn't make sense to buy these anymore, because if you have access to Ryfield's, why would you ever pay twice as much for the same track? So that seems silly. No matter what, just don't buy those.